When you first log into the Casa app, if you have smart devices already attached to your account, you will see them here. Here you can see I have a smart light bulb and a smart switch. The switch I have changed so that it's called fan as opposed to what I originally had it set for. So from the main screen, you can either power on and off the device if you select a particular device. In this case, I'm selecting the switch because, well, the switch is what the review is about. You can see a total summary of runtime for today. Now, keep in mind that this particular TP-Link Smart Plug does not track the actual wattage or kilowatts used by the device. It will track the amount of time that it was on, but not how much power it's used. And again, from this screen, you can power on and off the device. You can change the icon here. I'll show you how to do that, as well as changing the title. If we come down to where it says 8.8 hours, generally I leave this fan turned on overnight to generate white noise. If I click this little arrow over here, it will bring up a summary sheet. So runtime today, currently it has 0 hours because it's not on. Total runtime for today is 8.86. Now here you have it over the past 7 days for averages. Daily average is 8.69. Total runtime of over 60 hours. And in the past 30 days, average runtime of 8.89 hours with a total runtime of 266 hours. So again, you would have to do the math if you wanted to know electrical usage. Now, coming down to the bottom of the page here, you have 3 separate options that you can do: schedule, away, and timer. Now, if we select schedule, you can see I have no schedule set up, but if we push the little button in the upper right, you will get scheduling. So you can set a day and time and whether you want the smart plug to turn on or to turn off. Now, doing it in this particular mode is not going to actually turn the device on and off. You are going to set up a schedule, and then you can repeat on whatever days of the week you want and hit save. And when you do, it will add it to your schedule area here. Now, away is very similar. It's supposed to mirror you being home. So you would set a start time and an end time, and then you could repeat however many days of the week you want. So it's very much like those old plugs that you would plug in and turn the dial and say at 6 o'clock, turn this light on, and then at midnight, turn the light off to simulate you being home. Well, you can do that through an app now. Timer is just that. You can have the plug turn itself on or off after a set amount of time. So if you want, you turn the plug on and then you set a timer and it turns itself off in 30 minutes to an hour, whatever you want. And you would hit start and that would run the timer. Coming back up to the top of the page, this is where you can actually change a lot of the settings, which is right here. You click on settings and here you can see all the settings. You have device controls. Now, if you do not have a Casa account and have remote control turned on, you cannot turn on and off the smart plug from a distance. You would have to be on the same Wi-Fi network. So make sure that you turn that on and have an account. Here is device name. If you click on that, you can change the name of the device. Likewise with the device icon, if I click on that, I have a plethora of choices that I can choose from, or I can take a picture or use an existing picture that I have on my camera roll. Coming down here, you have some general settings: time zone, device time. Here's some model, MAC address, hardware, firmware, signal strength, and you could delete the device if you wanted to. And that is the TP-Link UI for the plug. Now, there are other things that you can do in the application. Up here in the upper right-hand corner, you can add more TP-Link devices. Here you have smart actions, but you need to have a compatible router. I do not, so I will not be using smart actions. Coming back to devices, again, listing of all of your devices, and then you have scene. Scene is very unique in that if you have multiple TP-Link devices, you can set them up to kind of do in this case, I have a good night. I have a light, an LED light, and the switch. And when I press on good night, I want my switch to turn on because I want the fan to turn on to generate white noise and the light to turn itself off. So when I click on this, this is what I get. Here's the setup for the bedroom. You can see that there are 2 cats hanging out on the bed. Currently over there is the fan, and over here out of frame is a TP-Link light bulb. Now, if I press the scene, the light will turn out and the fan will turn itself off. So hopefully you'll be able to hear the fan because the light will turn itself off. So if I come over here and click on scene, Now, I do wish that I could make the Amazon Echo compatible with that, but haven't been able to figure out how to do that yet. If you know, let me know in the comments below. With scenes, if you wanted to add a new scene or new selection of devices, you come up here, press the plus sign, and then you have several choices. You can use a pre-existing scene, which will give you the title and an idea of what it should do, or you can create a custom scene, and what it will do is it will show you all of your TP-Link items, and then you can select and have them do different things. Now, if I come back to this scene, which I've set up, if I select Edit, I can change the scene name or the scene behavior, which, if I select scene behavior, will show you the two items. And what it's showing is I want the light off and the TP-Link plug to turn on, which in this case is the fan. And then you can preview it, and if you preview it, it will show you or have those devices do what you are trying to have it do. And what I'm going to say last is the hamburger button over here, which takes you to the application information. So if you click on My Casa, it brings you back to that main page that I started with. Settings will allow you to check your location time, and then you have firmware. Now, firmware, it will run a check on all the TP-Link devices that you have and check if their firmware is up to date. Now, it does not push notifications of if there is updated firmware. So here you can see my smart plug is up to date, but my smart bulb is not. Now, it never informed me that my smart bulb was out of date and needed to be updated. So you will have to come into the firmware there and check that yourself. Last but not least, you have About and Help, and that is the Casa app in a nutshell.